let's get some Tai Chi going now. So we're gonna go feet shoulder width, nice big hoop, and we gently turn 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Reaching over, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Raising the arms, gently stretching towards the floor. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Middle once. Inhale and exhale. And again. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Middle once. Inhale and exhale. And again. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Middle once. Inhale and exhale. Hands on the waist. Rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. And we switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Crossing the arms, knees, gentle circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. And we switch hands, switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Hands on the waist, turning the head side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Tilting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Rotation, looking all the way around. 1, 2, and 3. Switch. 1, 2, and 3. Very good. Let's open up the feet, arms out, turning the head and the waist gently. Let the arms go along for the ride. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Very good. So now we're going to point our left toe to the corner, step out with your right foot, empty stance. Good. We're going to gently shift forward, back, forward, back. We pivot on the heel, shift, pivot on the heel, forward, back, forward, back, pivot, shift, pivot, forward, back, forward, back, pivot, shift, pivot, forward, back, forward, back, pivot, shift, pivot, forward, back, forward, back, and one more time, we pivot, shift, pivot, forward, back, forward, and back. Very good. We shake it out. Breathing. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Very good. Hands on the waist, shoulder rolls going back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Going forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do arm swings, inhale and exhale all through the nose and at your own pace. Good. Deep breathing again. Very good. We're going to make circles with the wrists. This one, I'm going to come up the middle and over the top. Up the middle, over the top. So we come up the middle, the hands come to the outside. Good. Very good. Let's change directions. Come over the top, down the middle. Good. Very good. Both palms down. Big circle. 1, 2, up. Switch. 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 1, 2, and up. Very nice. Both palms down. Knees bent slightly. We're going to shift to the left. Lift up. Bring the foot in. Out. In. Out. Shift. Lift. Bring the foot in. Out. In. Out. Shift. Lift. We bring the foot in. Out. In. Out. Shift. Lift, bring the foot in, out, and in. Very good. So let's put all our weight on our right leg. Reach back with the left foot. Reach forward, lightly touch. We don't want to put weight on it. Reach back, lightly touch. Left hand forward, left foot back, and we swing. Nice. Very good. Let's switch. So put all our weight on the left leg. This time we reach back with the right foot. Bring the right hand forward to start and switch. Very good. Very good. All right, let's put all our weight on our right foot. Reach out to the side, lightly touching with the left. And we put both hands to the right. Remember, both hands travel together in the same direction. And we come across as we come in, out, and we continue. Very good, everyone. Very good. Let's switch. Put all our weight on the left. Reaching out with the right foot, lightly touching both hands to the left. And we come across as we come in and out. Excellent. Very good. So just kind of as a measurement of progress, I don't know if you all are able to see it because probably when we're doing those exercises, outside of concentrating on doing it properly and not falling over, you're also, you're focused really on what you're doing yourself, which makes a lot of sense. But kind of on the whole, when I look across the room, I see so much more coordination in this movement and in these movements in general than we have seen in the past. And it seems to me, and that includes you, Kathleen, on Zoom there, I see you. So that includes, you know, that's encouraging to me to see that there's a level of kind of relaxation and comfort with the movement where it's happening in a really full and complete fashion. And so it's good. It's really good to see that. That's encouraging. Okay, so we'll do deep breathing. Excellent. All right, so also just because I was a little verbose there in explaining the situation, so that did eat through some of our time. What I'd like to do is right now it's 1:30. At quarter of, we'll wherever we're at in the exercises, we'll stop doing the exercise and we'll get into some of the form sequence so we get a chance to work on that as well. Okay, so we'll go just as far as we can, and then we get to quarter of, I'll let everyone know and we can jump into the sequence. So what we're gonna do is point our right foot directly towards the front of the room, touch the arch of our left foot to the heel and step straight out. Good. And now what we're gonna do is put the right hand to the shoulder and the left hand to the hip. Good. And we're gonna shift, lift the left, draw down with the right, turn, draw down with the left. Right hand to the shoulder, sit back, left hand to the hip, shift to the left, lift the left, draw down with the right, turn, draw down with the left. Right hand to the shoulder, left hand to the hip, shift to the left, lift the left, draw down with the right, turn, draw down with the left, right hand to the shoulder, left hand to the hip, shift to the left, lift the left, draw down with the right, turn, draw down with the left, very good. Right hand to the shoulder, left hand to the hip, shift to the left. So when we shift to the left, we're gonna lift the left hand. Yep, there we go. And we draw down with the right, turn, draw down with the left, very good. Let's do the other side. So just as something to help you keep yourself straight with this, because, and by no fault of anyone, when we cross our arms, we cross the signal in our brain, which side is the hand actually on, right? And so when we step out to this empty stance, we put our left hand at the shoulder, right hand at the hip. When I'm shifting to my right, I know I want to bring the right hand as the high hand. When I'm shifting to my left, the left hand. So just a clue that will help us as we go. So we shift to the right, lift the right, draw down with the left, turn, draw down with the right. Left hand to the shoulder, sit back, right hand to the hip, shift to the right, lift the right, draw down with the left, turn, draw down with the right. Left hand to the shoulder, right hand to the hip, shift to the right, lift the right, draw down with the left, turn, draw down with the right. Left hand to the shoulder, right hand to the hip, shift to the right, lift the right, draw down with the left, turn, draw down with the right. Very good. So there's all this detail in there. It is very easy, as you well know, to get one of the signals crossed, if not more, right? The nice thing is, if I know that the side that I shift towards is going to be the side that comes up, even if I put this hand here, I go here and I'm like, okay, yep, I'm corrected. And now I can start fresh. It's when I find myself here that I have a hard time. But if I get here, it's a lot easier to reset to that proper side. So that's really useful. Okay, so now we're going to lightly touch with our left foot, or you can do this feet shoulder width either way, or in the seated position, just both feet flat is good. We're going to cross at the wrist with the left hand in front this time. We're going to lift the elbows to horizontal, extend the left hand to the front, and turn to the corner. Good. We drop the elbows, turn back to the front. One thing I want to add to this is that try to keep your head facing the front direction, because if you turn your head to the side, you're not going to think your hand's doing enough, and you'll instinctually reach out with it more than you need to. So we're here, vertical elbow to horizontal elbow, extend the left hand to the front, turn to the corner. Good. Drop the elbow, turn to the front. Lift the elbows, extend the left hand to the front, turn to the corner. Beautifully done. Drop the elbows, turn to the front. Lift the elbows, extend left hand to the front, turn to the corner. Drop the elbows, front. And lift the elbows, extend the left hand to the front, turn to the corner. Drop the elbows, turn to the front. Very good. Let's switch sides. We're going to lightly touch with the right toe. Crossing the wrist with the right hand on the outside. We're going to go horizontal elbow, extend the right hand to the front, and turn the body to the corner. Drop the elbows, turn back to the front. Very good. Lift the elbows, extend the right hand to the front, turn to the corner. Drop the elbows, turn to the front. Lift the elbows, extend the right hand to the front, turn to the corner. Drop the elbows, turn to the front. And one more time. Lift the elbows, extend the right hand to the front, turn to the corner. Drop the elbows, turn to the front. Beautifully done. Okay, now we have preparation. We gently lift. Draw down, press, and step. Lift. Draw down, press, and settle. 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 Very good. Low loop. We're going to hold this posture. Try to breathe deeply and gently as we do. Very good. Shoulder height, same loop. Drop the elbows, holding the small ball. Very good. Bring your elbows out, turn your palms over. You're going to straighten your arms, your legs, and your spine. Very good. Or extend the wrists, fingers towards the floor. Very good. Deep breathing. Awesome. So very briefly, I just want to mention one thing about our feet kind of pronating or supinating, right? So when we're doing these exercises and we're feet shoulder width, we want to actually try to get our feet to parallel where the feet are straight line with each other. And that's not easy to do because a lot of times we think, yep, feet are straight, right? And we can't tell the degree to which they're out. So sometimes it takes kind of looking at them. And if you use kind of a straight line over the top of your foot as a gauge, you know, imagine that line and you look, which direction is that line pointing? Is it out? It might be in, or is it parallel? So what we want is parallel. The reason for that is that the way that the ball of your hip goes into the socket of your hip, on the bone, it's kind of set in at a 45-degree angle. And that gives it room to swing this way as well as the other way, but it still has support in this direction. And so if we point our toes out, what ends up happening is the hip becomes more mobile in that front to back direction. And if we can make our feet parallel, we have a little more stability down here. The other thing is if you look at the in this direction, if I point the toe out, I'm losing some of that surface area in the front to back direction. And so when we do these exercises where we're feet shoulder apart, even in a seated position, we benefit from having the feet parallel to each other and flat. And this helps with this front to back direction. So it's just something that you can kind of periodically check when we're doing the exercise. You look down, you go, oh yeah, I didn't realize the foot was out a little bit. And you try to kick the heels out a little or whatever you need to do to kind of get it straight. And you'll feel a difference in kind of in your balance. So what happens typically is if my feet are out, as an example, and it kicks the hips forward, you know, when you're standing still, you're not actually still. You're always in motion, right? And so that motion is something that without paying any attention to it subconsciously, you are compensating for that motion. If your weight starts to go a little too far forward, the toes of that foot will grip to kind of keep you from just going. And if you start to go backwards, your toes lift off the floor, which kind of counterbalances and brings you back to the center. So there's all this movement happening. And so if the feet are like this, it's a lot harder to compensate to grip with the toes because they're not lined up with the direction that you're falling in. So if you can get them parallel, it will actually, I think it makes a discernible difference in how you feel about your balance. The other thing is that you say, well, I never fell over standing like this, right? That's a totally valid point. But what does happen is in order to compensate for all of the movement that's naturally happening to stay in balance, muscles tense up to keep you stable, right? And if you have the structural alignment of your feet parallel and straight, you don't need as much of that muscle that you're not aware that you're using. So you might notice when you're doing this that maybe the glutes are, and if you put your feet parallel, something you can kind of experiment with for yourself and see if you notice a difference. Okay, so let's step out again, left foot to the side. And this time, if you recall, we're going to point the toe 45, right? So when we point that toe 45, we shift to the left, we end up turning 45, we don't overturn, good. We sit back and we end up facing this toe. So we shift, we turn 45, we sit back, we turn to the front, we shift, turn 45, we sit back, and we face the front. Good. So now we go right hand to the shoulder, left hand to the hip. We shift, relax the hip, turn. We sit back and reset. Good. We shift, relax the hip, turn. Sit back, reset. Remember when we shift to the left hand comes up. There it is. Good. We return. We shift. We turn. We reset. Shift. Turn. Sit back. Reset. Very good. So let's try the other side. So we point our Left toe to the front, step straight out, and then pivot on the toe, facing the corner with that foot. Shift to the right, turn to the right, but only to the corner, sit back, turn to the front. Shift to the right, turn to the corner, sit back to the front. Very good. Left hand to the shoulder, right hand to the hip. Shift to the right, lift the right, draw down with the left, sit back, reset. Left hand to the shoulder, right hand to the hip. Shift to the right, lift the right, draw down with the left. Good. Sit back, reset. Shift to the right, lift the right, draw down with the left, sit back, reset. Shift to the right, lift the right, sit back, reset. Very good. Okay, so now we go both feet shoulder width again. Both palms down. If you recall when we did the double circle, we're going to do the circle just with the right hand. Now with the left. Now the right, followed by the left, followed by the right, followed by the left. Very good. When we pick up the right, this time we turn to the right corner, put it down, pick up the left, turn to the left hand. Put it down, turn to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, and to the left. Very good. Low hoop. We lift, palms out, drop the elbows across, low hoop. Very good. Lift, palms out, drop the elbows across, low hoop. Lift, palms out, drop the elbows across, low hoop. Lift, palms out, drop the elbows across, low hoop. Very good. Let's go shoulder height. Turn the palms out. We're going to draw a figure eight pattern out and in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and in. Very good. Palms waist high, face up. We're going to make a circle. Gather the fists and extend. Palms up, form the circle. Gather the fist and extend. Very nice. Again, form the circle. Gather the fist and extend. Beautifully done. Neutral position. We're going to keep the center line. Draw it down with the right hand. Come back around. Draw it down with the left. Come back around. Draw it down with the right. Come back around. Draw it down with the left. Come back around. Good. Let's try the second version, which is we draw it down with the right, just as we did. As we come up and around with the right, we're going to bring the left hand down to make room. We come up with the left. As we bring it around, make room with the right. Come around. Good. Come around. Very nice, everyone. Come around. And come around. That was beautiful. So it's easy to take for granted how complex that is and the kind of coordination and timing it takes to do that. That's actually exactly how we make the transition in the form. So as an example, if I'm in flying diagonally and I step up, I don't just go here. I bring the left hand to the front first, and then I bring my right. And that's what we were practicing here, bringing one hand around and making room for it. That was really nicely done. Okay, so now we're going to go horizontal elbow with the right arm. Left palm against the right palm, and we alternate the elbow and shoulder position. Very good. Let's switch, round out with the left, palm against palm, and alternate. Very good. All right, now we're going to go to triangle position. Turn to the right, turn back to the middle. We're drawing the bow. Turn to the left and back to the middle. Turn to the right and back to the middle. Turn to the left and back to the middle. Turn to the right, back to the middle, the left, and back to the middle. Very good. All right, now we're going to toe out. It actually turns out we're pretty close. We're like 14 minutes left in class, so we've got 2 to go to just finish it. So I think we'll just finish it and then we'll jump into sequence. So feet facing the corners, knees are bent. We're going to cross at the wrist, lift the wrist above the head, make a big circle. Cross, lift, big circle. Cross, lift, big circle. Cross, lift, big circle. Cross, lift, big circle. Very good. Same thing we're going to do, but we're going to turn to the right this time, cross, lift, and as we make the big circle, turn back to the middle, and that's one posture. Now we turn to the left, cross, lift, big circle, turn to the middle. Now we turn to the right. Excellent, everyone. Cross, lift, big circle, turn to the middle. Turn to the left, cross, lift, big circle, turn to the middle. Turn to the right, cross, lift, big circle, to the middle. Turn to the left, cross, lift, big circle, to the middle. That was really well done. That was awesome to see. All right, now our feet shoulder width. We're going to cross with our right hand on the outside. We're going to lift the right hand, press with the left, and we switch. And we switch. 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 And then switch. Very good. Keep breathing. Excellent. So I'd like to jump into the chairs quickly and then we'll continue. So we're going to do the form sequence. Right. Kathleen got her chair as well. Awesome. Again, as a quick reminder, we want to make sure that we've got that space between the back of the chair and the back of our body. Good. And that causes us to sit up straight with a straight spine, unless, of course, we're doing the serious lean. But I can't drive like that. You know, my wife makes fun of me that, you know, I'm up on the steering wheel, but I was never, you know, I know people used to do the gangster lean and I can't hack it. So, all right. So what we'll do is let's run through it kind of section by section of where we're at so far. I am going to narrate through. And again, as always, if anyone has a question while we're going through, there's something you don't understand or you need clarification for, just let me know. So we start preparation. We draw down. Neutral position with the left hand on top. And we go beginning style on the left. Yep, so we want that left elbow up to start. You're gonna be like, what the hell? Because now we're gonna change it back. We have flying diagonally. Left hand to the center, right hand comes over the top, horizontal elbow with the right palm against palm. This is grass the sparrow's tail, 4 parts. We extend out square, connect to the wrist, draw down the left hip, left palm up, push the right hand to the right hip, lift the hand to the shoulder, push out square. Hooking the right hand, we turn to the right corner, we come across, single whip. Center and low. Center and high, holding the ball. Cross at the wrist with the right hand on top, and we fly diagonally, left hand comes up. Good. Left hand to the center and right hand over the top. Horizontal elbow, palm against palm. Lower the hand slightly and then raise the right hand as you press with your left. Bend forward, turn to your left, and we come back up. Stork flaps wings. That's section 1. That was beautifully done. Let's move on to section 2. We go neutral position, left hand on top. Palm out with the left hand, round out to the outside with the right, making sure that the right elbow is up. Good. We turn to the right corner, alternate the elbows, draw straight down with your left hand, turn to the front, adjust your left elbow, and palm out with your right hand. Very good. We're going to repeat that again. So we go neutral position, left hand on top, palm out with the left, round out to the outside with the right. We turn to the right. Very good. Alternate, draw straight down with the left, turn to the front, adjust the elbow, we palm out with the right. For the 3rd time in a row, neutral position, left hand on top. This time, horizontal elbow with the left, palm against palm, into brush knee on the left. So we turn to the left, alternate the elbow, draw straight down with the right, turn to the front, adjust your right elbow, and palm out with your left. Very good. Neutral position, right hand on top. We go into beginning style on the right. Into brush knee on the right. So again, we turn, alternate, draw straight down, turn to the front, adjust the elbow, and palm out with your right. Now we go neutral position, left hand on top again. Yep, so your other left. There you go. We're going to turn to the right corner, palm up with the left hand, and turn back to the front. I know it can't be that simple, but that's all it is. Let's try that one more time. We're in a neutral position. We turn to the right corner, left palm up, turn back to the front. Good. We're going to turn both palms out and extend the arms, closing the door, and now retract the arms back to neutral position with the left hand on top. Very good. Right palm is waist high, is going to go palm face up. We're going to form that circle. And as we gather the fist, we're going to turn our waist 45, withdrawing the hand back. And now we turn back to the front, punching to the center. We withdraw again. Left elbow out, we turn to the left. Left elbow down, we turn to the right. Turn to the front, and we punch to the center. Very good. The left hand comes around and underneath the right arm. Both elbows drop. Vertical elbow, palms come out. Leopard and tiger springs to mountain. We go back to neutral position, left hand on top. Turn to the right corner, both hands down. Turn to the front. Neutral position, left hand on top again. This time we're going to make both hands fists, and we're going to turn our waist 45, bringing the left elbow over the right fist, and back to neutral position. That was great, everyone. So that's the second section of the form. So just my own observation so far, it seems like everybody's able to flow through that pretty comfortably, right? Which is...
Yeah, I agree.
Well, okay, so I think, you know, verbal transmission is really helpful. I had last week, one of my students in the benchmark class was having a technical issue, and she had no video. But so she couldn't see what I was doing, and she couldn't see herself on screen. She was just having some tech issue, but she had the audio. And at the end of class, she said, I'm amazed. Like, I was able to follow the entire thing. And it's because I probably never shut up. But so.
Yeah, it does work, but I'm also very visual.
Yes, yes.
And I think one of the reasons I like sitting in the front is I
You can
am
see
so
clearly, yeah.
visual
Yes.
that
Yes.
I think the visual for me is first and then the speaking, but
Yeah.
I do need the speaking.
Yeah, but I think that's also a really good point, because one of the things that we get out of the visual is the ability to confirm, right? Because if you're just hearing the words, and you know, the words were, if I narrated it differently, if I said, okay, you know, we're going to do flying diagonally, your left hand's going to come up and your right hand's going to come down. You could be at home doing this and think, well, I'm doing that. But when you can see what's happening as well, even if you start here, you go, wait a minute, he's kind of here, and you can make those adjustments. And even more importantly, you can make those adjustments for yourself, right? And this is one of the ways in which, you know, we talk about the benefits of Tai Chi. Tai Chi improves proprioception, right? So proprioception is your brain's understanding of where your body is in space. This is something that we all kind of take for granted. But there are things like, in many cases in stroke, this part of the brain gets damaged, that not even the brain gets damaged, but the connection of the brain to the body in those instances gets damaged. And, you know, you constantly knocking things over because you see the glass, you're reaching for the glass, but your hand's over here and you're not, you know, or you're dropping things because you don't squeeze with the appropriate amount of strength. And so one of the ways that Tai Chi improves that proprioception sense is because we get used to tracking our own movements with our eyes. If we're trying to make a diagonal, we can see for ourselves whether we're making a diagonal. If we're trying to make a hoop, we know that this isn't it. We can verify with our own eyes, do we have a hoop or do we have a triangle, right? And the direction of things. This is one of the reasons why we reference the body, shoulder to hip, because you're going to always have that with you. It's not something that's kind of philosophical. It's a physical thing that's always with you that you can verify. Okay, yeah, this hand's at the shoulder, this hand's at the hip. And we might get which hand is on which shoulder and which hand is on which hip confused, but we're going to be able to find our shoulder and our hip, right? And so I do agree that that visual aspect is really important. When you are practicing, whether you're practicing in class or following a video at home or whatever the case may be, very often you naturally will, your eye will be drawn to the instructor, wherever that instructor is, whether I'm here in front of you on stage or whether I'm on video or Zoom at home. Your eye is drawn in front of you and you're trying to follow along, which makes 100% sense. But it's also important to use your eyes to verify for yourself whether or not what you're doing is what you're seeing, right? Because, yeah, you had something?
Something that occurred to me when you were talking about what would you do after you graduate, particularly big boy world. Is it helpful to do it in front of the mirror opposite side?
Sure. Actually, I find that practice in a mirror is really useful, right? Now, it used to be that we relied only on, if you're talking about a sport, you would rely only on your, if you were playing tennis, right? You would, if you were learning how to play tennis, you would have a tennis coach or a tennis teacher, and they would tell you, drop your elbow, relax your wrist, all of this stuff. But you still couldn't see for yourself whether that was happening or not. The only way you could verify is whether the ball went where you wanted it to go. But when we're talking about form and function in movement, I think it's really useful to practice for yourself, because I can promise you, when we're doing this exercise, you may not know at all, and I'm not speaking to you specifically, but you may have no clue as to how far out your arms are, right? And when you see it in the mirror, you're like, that's not what I thought I was doing.
Well, for the mirror, when you're doing the Zoom,
Yes,
you've got your little box of you, and you can see, and I've always thought that my arms weren't straight when I was doing the
yeah, like the deep breathing.
deep breathing
Yes.
stuff. And I was watching when I was home taking it. I was like, oh, I do have it straight.
Yeah,
And I'm going, I shouldn't be wearing the pink one because that's too neon. But anyways, it
Yeah.
was still, I could see what I was doing
yes.
and seeing what you were doing.
I think
That
you've
really
just,
worked good.
I think also you've just raised a really important point, which is not all of your visual confirmation is going to tell you that you're doing it wrong. Right? It's easy to assume, well, it's going to show me that I'm out here when I'm supposed to be here. You may also realize, wow, I didn't think I quite had that, but that kind of looks like what it's supposed to look like. And that also is really useful.
I don't have Zoom.
Right.
I don't have.
I remember that. So here's the thing with the LMS, you won't even need that. It's just a website that you go to and you can access it like you normally would. And it doesn't take a lot of bandwidth to play the videos, because what happens is the video settings, basically the tech stuff on the back end, if you have a massive, super powerful fiber optic internet at your house, it will play it at a higher resolution and setting that's available. And if your internet is, DSL with it, all of that stuff, it will scale it down so it will still play. So that part of it's kind of a useful thing there. But again, even if you wanted to practice something in the mirror where you were like, okay, how's my position? It is actually, I would recommend doing that, anytime, because it does help to be able to see, even without video, to be able to see, am I doing what I think I'm doing, right? So, yeah, no, but I think that's very helpful because, a lot of times, like this is a great example. We think, oh, nailed it. We don't realize until we see it, and then we go, wait, I thought my hand was here. And so you can make those corrections. There is something in Tai Chi that my teacher talks about a lot, where he says, you don't know what you don't know, right? And how do we know it? The only way we get to know it is we do it enough times that we then know it. Because everyone here, I would say with no exception, I would readily say you're all probably much smarter than I am. The only difference is that I've done it more, right? And we can try to outthink Tai Chi. We go, well, I'm pretty intelligent. I can think my way through this problem. But the smartest person on the face of the planet, without doing Tai Chi, will really have very little understanding of how to do it. But when we do it, we experience it for ourselves, then you begin to understand it. So using a tool like looking in the mirror and, checking your position to see if it's what you want it to be, can be really helpful. So, all right, well, very sadly, we're at our time.